Friends, I am here today with a life tip that will help anyone and everyone, not just people who are appearing as podcast guests. So with that being said, I'm a former teacher, so I like to take abstract concepts and then anchor them in something that is much more concrete. So because most of us have dating experience, and even though I'm 45 and gainfully single, I have dating experience, I think that this could relate to anyone. But there is nothing worse than if you go on a date and all the person does is talk about themselves. So every time you ask a question, they just talk about themselves. They never volley it back into your court. All right. Now, I'm not an athlete, but I think that's how that works. You go forward and back, right? So with that being said, whether you're just meeting someone for the very first time at a holiday cocktail party, or perhaps you're seeing them for the first time on the sidelines of a soccer field, or you are a guest on a podcast, it is great to go ahead and get information from that person as well. Now, specifically, if you are a guest on a podcast, I know that they're asking you to come on because you're the expert in that field, in that topic, in that subject area. But it's really great to ask the host or the hostess a question back. And it's also really good to ask it to the audience. Now, I know that you won't know who's listening to the podcast, but by saying the word, simply saying the word you, Y-O-U, we know that it can be singular or plural. Again, the nerdy English teacher in me. But we know that by simply saying you, right? Well, what do you think, right? And asking that person that question, because here's the thing. In our brains, and this is the former teacher in me, in our brains, when you're asked a question, your brain actually searches for the answer. So yes, no questions are not the best kinds of questions. I'm sure if you're a parent, you know this, or if you have a partner, spouse, you also know that too. Yes, no questions are not the best kind, but you want to ask a question that is going to get someone to think about it and reflect and internalize upon it. And we know that podcasts are amazing because you're very intimately connected with a person. You're literally being like piped into their ears. And we know that people listen to podcasts most frequently and most often, either in their cars commuting to and from work or just to and from the grocery store or whatnot. Also at their home when they're doing, laundry or other, things around the house. And then of course at the gym or working out. So you are literally being piped into someone's ear. So when you ask them that question, you're creating connection and an intimacy with them that they wouldn't otherwise get. So it's really, really powerful. Even if you're writing a blog and you say, what do you think? It's different when they can actually hear your voice in there. So my suggestions to you, whether you're on a date, whether you're at a cocktail party, sidelines, or whether you're on a podcast, is ask the host, ask the audience, ask questions, kind of go a little bit deeper, not just sharing just about yourself. It's also going to show your position of service, your desire to serve the audience who's listening. So I have lots of little tips like this, you guys, that I'm sharing in my most recent ebook, How to Be the Best Podcast Guest. So these are just a few. They're also life tips because let's just be honest. I think everybody could use a little bit of socialization, especially after all this with COVID. People don't even know, do I shake hands? Do I fist bump? Do I high five from afar? So I think that it's really good to have this kind of common etiquette. So hopefully this helped you guys. If you're interested in buying the ebook, hop on over to my website, shinewithbrandy.com, and then it's /books, BOOKS. There's a couple books there for you, but this one is available if you're interested in becoming a podcast guest. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Much love to you. Have a great day.